Most of you probably know by now that I am on the night shift. My wife and I both tend to work on the night shift, and long story short, we kind of stay on the night shift. And if we're ever going to get anything done in our yard or whatever, we try to get up early, but sometimes you can't help it and you got to stay up late and do some work in the yard at night and you can't see anything. So, we take flashlights and stuff like that out there, right? That makes sense, certainly. And we found some awesome lights that you can put on your head, and they're really bright. They're great LED lights. We got those and we started using those for the first time the other night, and things were going really great until all of a sudden my neighbor came over and accused us of breaking into our own house. Great way to meet a neighbor, let me tell you. What is going on, everybody? Hello, my internet friends. Spartan Overdrive back with you with another episode of Hybridcraft. We're going to jump right into it, everybody. Let's see what we can get up to today. First and foremost, let's start out doing the thing that I'm bad at. Let's show you what I've been up to. Let's knock out some of this storage facility. I'm actually really excited to do this now because I have this plan for this big industrial area. And that's pretty exciting, so I'm kind of wanting to get into this, and I'm learning a lot of redstone while I'm at it. So I know I'm not a redstone channel. Let me show you a few things. We won't go through it in detail, but this is something I came up on my own, and I feel pretty good about it. So I have some steps here, and if I'm missing any, please let me know. But first, you need unloading, and then you need to sort your stuff. You need to sort it into like a bulk storage area, and then you need to go into like item specific, multi-sorting, whatever. That stuff I'm definitely going to have to look up. I think Tango Tech's got a pretty amazing one. There's a few of them I've seen. I might, in my bulk storage, make a situation where we store everything in shulker boxes. That way you need less actual chests. You need a smaller facility, but you can store way more items. So I'm thinking for things like dirt and stone and stuff like that, maybe we'll go that route. That's a whole other thing I got to research still. And then finally, you're going to have like an overflow, right? I thought about maybe having a situation where you could actually reload, like set down a chest and load some stuff into it. But I don't know how to do that. A shulker box is what I mean, not a chest specifically. I'm not sure about that, but I came up with this. This is my unloading facility. I made this do more things than it actually needs to do. So the very first step is a step that I don't know if I'll keep or not. You guys let me know what you think if you have any suggestions, but you press this button and booyah, you got a shulker box coming up here. And as you can see, it is unloading itself, and it unloads itself into this, which will eventually, once we get it hooked up, it'll lead into the storage facility itself. And then when you get rid of it, you press this button right here and booyah, it's gone. It's nowhere to be found, but you don't want that to go into the storage facility, right? You want to keep that shulker box, so it goes right here instead. Magical. Let me tell you what, guys, I feel pretty good about that. That's probably something super simple and easy to do. I'm going to just quickly show you the redstone, but I'm not going to go over it. This is the easy, simple redstone that I set up to do this thing. Like I said, it's probably super easy. Now I'm thinking about potentially making this hopper or this chest, instead of going into a chest, maybe we have the option to loop it back around into this again, but I don't really see the point in it. I think all you got to do really is just bring in a chest full of stuff. Maybe we leave this here all the time, and anytime we want to come unload stuff, we just pop this open and put a bunch of stuff in it, and then when we're done and we want to get the chest back, we pop it back in here, and there we got it all of a sudden, and all of our stuff is in the system. I kind of like what the idea behind this is. I think it's cool. It's kind of fun. I'm feeling good about it since, I don't really know what I'm doing with this stuff, really. I think it turned out all right. So let me show you the other thing I'm working on. Boy, those things do not go very far. I'm used to using the rockets, and man, they travel a lot further than this, that's for sure. Let me ask you guys this. Are y'all having problems with string disappearing on you? Because I am. Every time I come in here, these cactus are grown up to the ceiling, poking me in the backside. Very rude, very rude. But they're grown all the way up to the ceiling because the string is broken and the sand falls or gets destroyed. So I just went ahead and put up slabs here instead. They're the same color, but they serve the same purpose. But yeah, that's kind of frustrating. But here, there's no string here, so that's why those haven't broken. But and all my vines and stuff, I bet, let's see. Let's look over here and see. I can't see it. That tree's in the way. I've got vines over there, and there's some up here. They keep growing insanely long disproportionately. Yeah, like here, see, they're growing them back again. All my string keeps disappearing on me. It's pretty stinking annoying. The other thing that I did, the thing that I've been working on a little bit in between things, I'm trying to get this butcher facility all designed and lived in, and I think it's coming along. We got all kinds of meats. Look at all these meats hanging here. We got some blood down on the ground where they've been dripping everywhere. Honestly, I like this the best. This is my favorite. Whatever this nether quartz rock, not nether quartz, whatever this is, I forget. Nether wart blocks. I knew I'd come up with it one day. This one's my favorite for this meat stuff. This stuff is actually okay, but now that this is here, this just feels bloodier. It feels, although if you look at this is really bloody here. So I guess they both work, but I've got all of them up here. I'm pretending they're different types of meat. Which one's which, I don't know, and I don't really care, to be honest with you guys. But over here, we got our meat shears, cleavers, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. And we got a little bit of a, maybe this is a cleaver. I don't know what these things are called. Neither one of these are really meant for a butcher, but it's the closest thing we've got, so we're going with it. I mean, for crying out loud, we're pretending a lever is a knife right here. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do to make this stuff work. We got some meat laid out here on a slab ready to be butchered and cut up. Just like the metalsmith, the iron worker, that guy over there, he works outside to kind of show off his craft and kind of give himself from free advertisement. And plus, they don't have air conditioning inside these places, so they want to get out here in the cool breeze. And everyone's going to smell this nasty meat everywhere. But that's okay. That's okay. He's got a place to wash his hands right here. And then if you go inside the butcher, if you go inside, you got all your nice meats hanging every which way all over the place. And I don't know if I've ever seen this done before. I'm sure a lot of people have done it. But I had these slabs. I wanted to put this stuff presented here somewhere. I wanted it to look like it was hanging. And I thought, well, you know, the only way to show it at all is to put it in an item frame. And then I thought, oh, we'll put this trapdoors up. And I actually had the trapdoors on the bottom side and they were sticking up. It didn't make much sense, so I put them on the top side and it kind of sort of looks like meat hanging there. I think it does anyways. And you've got like a little bit of a prep area here. Maybe this is a counter where people come in and buy their stuff. Little place to wash your hands and a knife here again on the counter. So we've got all our cooked meats here. I've already moved over all my food, which is not a whole lot, but you know, it's enough. Moved it on over here, and then we've got some leather and stuff because that kind of makes sense. And just random meats hanging everywhere. We might name this stuff up. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Name tag some of this stuff. If this is going to be my place to actually store all my food, my meat type food, I don't have any place to actually cook it in here. It's all over on the other side of the world there. So I'm thinking maybe this is going to be really tight. It's going to be a little bit tight. Might be a little bit weird, but I think I'm going to put like a furnace array here. And it won't be like a true array. It's just going to be a bunch of furnaces. I don't think we're going to worry about having like an auto smelter and all that kind of stuff. Not right here anyways. I'm going to place that in, see what that looks like real quick. Maybe put one more, maybe put a few. Let's see if we can come up with something that looks halfway decent. All right, I just went and slaughtered a bunch of animals. I came up with this thing right here and I want to test it. I think it works the way that I think it works. Well, that part should not work. I don't know how that happened. I think it's because I had to cut that down to put a slab up there so this would open. So let's put our raw animal flesh up there. And I didn't even think, I'm never going to need this. I want it here just so it's here. Yeah, there it goes. It's working already. So I want it here, but I am never going to need this because I've got a sharpness sword with fire aspect at all my animal pins. If for some reason I lose those sharpness swords with fire aspect or whatever, I suppose I can always just come in and put my raw meats up there, and then my finished meats will come down here, and then I can sort them out here. This kind of makes me want to kind of auto sort this stuff out over here. I think that might actually be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know about that. I think we don't have a lot of room in this place, and in fact, this is pretty tight as is. So I may have to come up with something different. I may have to put it over here on this wall, which would probably make more sense. But I kind of like the display we've got going on over there. So I don't know. What do you guys think? It's pretty tight. I may adjust that. That's a super easy fix if I ever need to. All right. You convinced me to move the furnace array to the other side. And it is fully functional now. Fully functional furnace array, auto array. It does not do automatic sorting into our finished meatery over here. Our meat bins, locker meats. I don't know what they're called. But over here, as you can see, we set this up. This chest up here basically is where we put the raw meat, and it will go down through the hoppers into the furnaces down here, just like before. But now we actually also have this chest up here, which will feed in the fuel. Same thing over here. It will feed in this stuff right here. Let me show you. Let me show you how this works. All you guys know how this works, don't you? Watch this right here. I put it in there. Where's it going? Oh my goodness, it's disappearing on us, and it's reappearing right there all by its magical self. And the meats will do the same thing there, and then they will get distributed to this chest, and this chest where I will have to come back and manually put them over here. But like I said, that's okay. I think I can live with that. And then I decided, man, I really like the meats hanging everywhere. I like seeing the meat everywhere, the meat varieties, the raw meat hanging over here. So I just kind of added some here and there. I think it looks okay. I use some zombie flesh, as you can tell. Obviously, we don't eat that, but I guess, technically we can. The game allows us to do that. So it is up on display as well. It kind of looks like jerky to me. So I think it's pretty fitting. And then I put the trapdoors up just to make it look a little bit better. Hopefully hide those a little bit. Even in vanilla, the vanilla trapdoor texture will hide that to some degree. So yeah, so I took out all the raw hides and put up the zombie jerky instead. We don't have as much meat hanging everywhere, but we still got the meat hanging. I think it looks pretty good. Oh my goodness, I'm excited now, guys. I have got the ideas flowing. Oh my goodness. Yes, oh yes, oh yes. We are gonna do the work, guys. I have come up with an idea to make this enjoyable for me because redstone hurts my brain head. But I'm getting better at it. Slowly but surely, I'm kind of learning it, figuring it out. And so what I am gonna do is I am gonna make this thing enjoyable for me. We're gonna start. You thought that was a complex that we made over there? That ain't nothing yet. You're gonna see some crazy complex going on over here real soon, real quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I'm just gonna lay out a little bit of block palette while we talk here. Get the basic building blocks in place. Let's go ahead and put some of these in here too. I put them in the wrong place. So why am I so excited? Well, I'm not going to tell you everything. I can't tell you all my secrets, but I can say that it is going to be pretty good, I think. I haven't done anything yet, so let's not make any promises we can't abide by. But I think what my idea is that I want to make this a true industrial park, complex kind of structure. I want to go with some dark colors. I even have obsidian out. I don't know if I'm going to use that. I thought about leaning towards kind of a purple color, but I don't know about that. But so what's my deal? What's my plan? What am I going on about? Well, it is almost nighttime, and I'm going to have to sleep. Let me do that, and then I can focus my brain, talk to you guys a little bit. Okay, the sleeping has been completed. So now let's talk about my plans. Again, I'm going to share all my secrets. Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy. We're going to share the secrets that I think don't want to be secret anymore. Did that make sense? No, it did not. No, it did not. But we're gonna act like it never happened. So the idea is that we are going to create a bunch of structures. We're going to have a facility for each one of these places, and we're going to have them interconnected with all kinds of methods, kind of like BC's got going on over here. I really dig this over here. When he made this, I thought, man, that is cool. That looks really industrial, looks really cool. He's got that situation going on here with the water flow coming out, and then it goes into a tank. So we might build some more stuff similar to that, some silos, some different things. I'm thinking like a bulk storage area could be in a silo kind of complex, build some giant silos. We could build basically every part of this. We're going to make up a lot of different storage sections, and each section is going to be used for a different purpose, whether it's bulk or whether it's whatever, right? We'll get into that in the future because I'm still working it out in my brain head, still trying to figure it out. But I think the cool thing about it is that it's going to have all these different sections and components, a bunch of different buildings, and we are going to make those as cool as we can. And we're going to interconnect them in some cool ways. So we're going to make the actual project fun. We're going to do redstone, but then we're going to top it off with some cool design. And I think we're going to lean into the gray scheme. I might do some chimneys and such with this color right here. That way we can tie it into the rest of the build here. And then we're going to use some darker woods just because this place is going to be industrial, right? It's going to have soot and different things. It's going to be dark. And in fact, I did not get this block out, but coal blocks might be a good thing to incorporate. Let's see what those look like real quick. Yeah, I think some coal blocks might be good in certain places. I really want to use iron. I got that out. Did I put it out? I didn't put any out. Iron would look perfect in my texture pack, but I want it to look good in every texture pack. So when you guys download it, it'll look good if you're not using mine. So we may not use that because it would look completely the opposite of what I'm intending. It would look really light. So there is no way in the world I'm going to be able to do all the things that I want to do today. This is definitely long-term. I spoke about that before. It's a long-term project. Well, I am kind of sort of turning it into an even longer term project, but it's going to be a lot more fun this way, I think. And we won't do every episode. We'll kind of go back and forth kind of as I learn the redstone process and all that kind of mess. But I think this will be pretty cool, guys. I'm excited about it. So today what I want to do is I want to build our first building. We're going to build a building around that structure back there that I've already built. I'm going to build it again over here somewhere, and it's going to be our loading facility. So I think this is a good area right in here somewhere that we can build a building that will load everything up. And we might actually make a couple different ways to load it. And then I'm going to have to leave some space in it for expansion because I'm still kind of figuring some things out. And then we will connect it up to some other buildings via maybe some things like this. Maybe we do some railroad carts in between the buildings. We could do a lot of cool things like that. And I think we make this whole area like an interconnected industrial complex. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So let's get working on the first building today, get ourselves something wrapped around this whole loading facility. Let's take a look at our progress so far. As you can see, we got a small building, not much to it. Probably not going to be a whole lot to this one, but we're going to expand on it and make it look cool once it joins up the structure at large, or the industrial area, I guess you could call it. Before you say anything, I know, I see it. I'm trying something different, and you know I hate that texture meetup, but we're trying something new. I looked at a lot of industrial buildings, and they're not pretty. That's the whole thing. They're kind of ugly. You don't put a lot of money into something that's going to be stained up with soot and mire and all that kind of crazy stuff. So it's usually just a bunch of box-shaped buildings. You know, the door might be recessed a little bit. So that's what we're doing. We're going with the darker colors. We will figure out a way to make this look good, but it might be a bit of a challenge because it's something different than what we're used to. Of course, this is a combination of medieval and all the other kind of styles that we do. But let's show you what we got going on here. It's the same thing I showed you a minute ago. If I press this button right here, it's going to push this out here. In reality, we will probably never do that. We'll probably place it up there manually because we'll have it on us, whatever box that we bring in here. But then when we're done with it, we can push that button. It gets rid of it, puts it back in here. Or I suppose we could just break it. So both of those functions are probably a little bit unnecessary, but you see me jumping around here, and that is because I'm trying to show you what I've got going on up here. Basically, the idea is I've got a little bit of a hopper chain going under there, and then it pushes it into this little thing. Actually, I think I've got it down here. Yeah. So if you guys don't know how these work, you basically set it up just like this, and it pushes through that right there. It pushes all of that material straight up as long as you don't have any spaces. And so that's what we did here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to transport all of this stuff up in the air somehow, kind of like I said, this is going up here, right? How that water goes that way. We may use water, we may use rail, we may use a bunch of different methods, but I want it to, we're going to put it in here, the storage in here, or all of our items we're going to put in here, and then they're going to transport up there, and that serves two purposes, really. One, I am jumping like an absolutely horrible person that's never played this game before. But one purpose is that it's going to give us the aesthetics that I'm looking for. It's going to have all of our transportation up here, and that way it allows us to have some sky bridges and things that connects all of our buildings. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But also, you kind of need it to be up high so that it can start to trickle down into your storage. So it kind of fulfills an actual genuine purpose as well. So that kind of works out pretty good. So all I got left to do now is let's put a little bit of a roof on this thing. And we'll call it good on this one probably, because there's not a whole lot to it. Like I said, this is just the first step. Whoa, look at that bounce. That was crazy. But once we get this first step done, everything else will kind of come together and look better and better, slowly but surely. Well, it may have started out as a bit of an ugly square, and now it's something else that's probably not very pretty still, but it is a factory, basically, is the idea, right? So nothing a little asymmetry can't fix. As you can see, I did change a few things. I'm going for this barrel roof design, and I've noticed a lot of buildings have, they have this barrel roof, and then here they'll have something that sticks up like this. And I've actually done this on another build over here. Actually, can you barely see it? Yeah, you can kind of see it sticking through the wood there, but you can't really tell. But basically, it slopes up and then it pops up in the middle there. I don't really know the purpose behind that, but I have seen that quite a bit. And so I thought I would try that out. It looked good on a few factories that I looked up, some references that I looked up. And then just to give it some variation here, obviously this is a lot bigger than the actual small little build that it's based on right there. So I just kind of expanded it a little bit just to give myself a little bit extra room to put in some details like that. There's some extra space in there that no one will ever see, and that allowed me to make the walls too thick and put a little bit of detail in just to give it something. It's not much, but it's something. So yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot to it. You've already seen the inside of it. Put a little docking station there. That is just to kind of give it more of an indication that it's a factory, but also I believe that will actually come in useful at some point in the future. I'm thinking about putting another automated loading, unloading, maybe with a rail station that could come up to here. I'm not sure about that yet. That's in the future, but it allows me to expand for that in the future if I so desire. That's going to wrap it up for us today, guys. I hope you're excited about expanding into a new industry, this industry of sorting and storage and all that good stuff. And it kind of fits in real nicely with the blacksmith next door, doesn't it? So I feel like that's a pretty good area. I think it's going to be a good thing it's going to be a good thing when we're all said and done. But yeah. Hopefully it's a good thing already. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Take it easy. And as always, until next time, keep it creative.